Section 8 of China, Japan, and the Islands of the Pacific. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jim Locke, Floyd, Virginia. The World's Story, Volume 1, China, Japan, and the Islands of the Pacific, edited by Eva March Tappan. Section 8, A Visit to a Temple of Confucius by Reverend A. W. Loomis. We now pushed on to Kiew-Fuhien, the city of Confucius, which we reached about 2:30 p.m. This city is peopled chiefly by the descendants of the great sage, 8 families out of 10 bearing his surname. It has 2 south gates, the one on the west side being unused, and opened only on the visit of an emperor. This gate is in front of the temple of Confucius and leads directly to it. The temple occupied a large portion of the western part of the city, the chief part of it standing on the place where Confucius lived. Its arrangement resembles that usually adopted in buildings of a similar class in China, but on a grander and more superb scale. Take it all in all, I have seen nothing like it in other parts of China. The enclosure is oblong, the building is 13 halls deep. One square is shut off from another by grand gates. There are also 2 bridges crossed by a grand avenue leading from the magnificent south gate through the inner gates and on to the main temple. The squares are full of tall, old cypress trees, and the sides of the avenue are crowded with tablets in honor of the sage. Every dynasty is here represented, and many of the tablets were thus extremely important. Early in the morning we set out to view this place. A small fee soon opened the door, and we found the keeper obliging. The temple is divided in 2 parts by a thoroughfare for the convenience of the citizens to avoid a long circuit, the chief objects of interest lying on the north side. To this we went, and from the first moment we stepped in to the last, my whole mind was engaged by objects of interest. Here on the left hand was a cypress said to have been planted by Confucius himself, and its gnarled and aged trunk bore evidence of its great age. Here we were shown the place where he taught his disciples. Now a huge pavilion opened to the south. In it was fixed, in his praise, a poem composed by Kien Lung, engraved on a marble tablet. Now appeared the grand temple, a high building for China, and a most spacious one. It was 2-storied, the upper veranda on gorgeous marble pillars. These pillars were at least 22 feet high and about 10 feet in diameter. Around them, carved in the solid stone, twined 2 large dragons. The marble itself was richly veined. The tiles of the roof were of yellow porcelain, as in Peking, and the ornamentation of the eaves was all covered with wirework to preserve it from the birds. Within this building was the image or statue of Confucius, like that of Mencius, only in far richer style. He sat in a gorgeously curtained shrine, holding a roll in his hand, or rather a slip of bamboo, as it was this material that was used for writing in his days. The sitting statue was about 18 feet by 6 feet. The image was well done and lifelike. He is represented as a strong, well-built man, with a full red face and large head, a little heavy. He sits in the attitude of contemplation, his eyes looking upwards. He has a much more serious, thoughtful aspect than Mencius, but not that straightforward, dogged air which the latter bore. His front teeth were exposed, his nose thick and round. On the tablet was the simple inscription, "The most holy prescient sage Confucius, his spirit's resting place." On the east were images of his favorite disciples, ranged in order, in the estimation in which he was said to have held them. That of Mencius occupied the west side of the building. The roof was crowded with tablets in honor of the sage, vying with one another in extravagant praise. Before his image, and also in front of these, were beautiful incense pots, amongst them several most interesting relics. Here was a clay dish said to be of Yao's time, also two bronze censers, one with a lid bearing the date of the Shang dynasty, the work on which was superb. Two bronze elephants, dating from the Chow dynasty, stood by, and a large table of the same age, made of beautiful, hard, dark redwood. These things spoke volumes for the state of the nation in those far back ages. The moulding and carving were most exquisite. Behind this hall stands a temple in honor of the wife of Confucius. In it was a tablet, but no image. In the second temple, yet farther back, are 4 tablets erected by Kang Sai, bearing each one of the characters which together mean the teacher of 10,000 ages. Here also were 3 engraved figures of the sage on marble, one an old man, full length, rather dim, having no date; the second smaller, with sealed characters on the side; the third, and best, giving only his head and shoulders. These varied somewhat, but were substantially alike. All of them gave the mouth or lips open, the front teeth exposed, and the eyes full and contemplative. Immediately behind these were incised drawings on marble, illustrating all the chief incidents in his life, with appropriate explanations at the side. There were altogether 120 slabs, which were built into the back wall. The greater part of them were in good preservation, and were extremely interesting, the more so as they gave us an insight into the dress, kind of furniture, carriages, and houses of those ancient times. To the west of this are 2 temples, that in front in honor of the father of the sage, who is said to have governed Yen Chao Fu and Sao Hien; the other in honor of his mother. They are plain temples, and have no images, only a tablet each. On the east are also temples to his 5 ancestors. Here, towards the east, was a large block of marble, on which was engraven a genealogical tree, giving all the branches of his family. Here was also a well, from which the sage drank. I got the man to let down a bucket, and tasted the water, which was excellent, though a little sweetish. On this side also was another building, which he is said to have used as his school. The southern division is less interesting than the northern. It contains nothing but what I have already named: tablets innumerable, cypress trees, gates, walls, and bridges. There are 3 gardens, 4 gates, and 2 bridges. The Duke Kung, the present head of the family, lives in a mansion adjoining the temple on the west. End of section 8. This recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jim Locke of Floyd, Virginia.